Absolutely. Good evening. My name is Niger Chambers from Big Gold Belt Media. Christopher and Ren, it's a pleasure to talk to you today and welcome to the BMF family. I'm very excited to talk about you two's character, and I instantly want to talk about the father-daughter relationship here. How is this relationship going to test you two's character for the remaining of the season? As I've seen season three, so I can tell I know what the motivation is behind Ren. Ren wants to be here to the throne, rightfully so. Proven. Duncan is it's Duncan. Blaze isn't ready to relinquish that role just yet. The OG wants to sit on the throne just a little bit longer, bro. How would these dynamics test these two characters going forward?
I think in terms of the parent-child relationship, I think it's going to be a test of it feels like a test of merit. Based off of the father's own individual rubric, and Henry is really trying to check off every box in there to prove that she's just like him and she can do his job just like it because she trained him, she raised him. So of course, why not? And I think the dynamic is really trying to get a child's belief or a father's belief in a child. The child is yearning for the support and the belief of the child.
Yeah.
To me, it's about the dynamic between the two of us is about trust, loyalty, and respect. And unfortunately, for myself as Blaze and Henrietta, we have issues in all of those departments. Trust, loyalty, and respect.
Mm.
That's what it's about. I mean, you talked about not wanting to relinquish, the OG control and everything. Well, if as Blaze I were able to trust the situation and Henrietta's choices, my mind might be in a different place. My reactions would certainly be different. But unfortunately, there are issues. So naturally, we have what? A lot of conflict.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there isn't that, because this is one of the things I think people will misunderstand about Blaze. The level of love Blaze has for Henrietta
Yeah.
is deep. It's
Yeah.
just a complex relationship, though. But I think that'll be easily misunderstood.
Mm. I also have to just say that I think Henrietta also has the deepest love for family too. And we see that is very much put on display pretty early in this as well. Ren, listen, very excited to see you a part of this. And one thing I'm always going to advocate for to the back of the room with the loudest voice is representation and constructing a character like Henry. I see is being handled with the utmost diligence. There's little small tidbits that you pick up on that you just know that this is being done right, and this is what we want and want to see much more on our television and movie screens. When you talk about constructing Henry, talk about some of the input that you had, the presentation, the first of all, at the table with the gold, the mini sword. I mean, I'm like, listen, you can't make a bigger statement than that. Talk about this introduction and constructing this character and how much it's meant to you.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I have to shout out to the wardrobe and the hairstylist because I want to say that was the final seal to getting Henry's embodiment, to getting that character. It's honestly for me, especially when I was in my trailer, once the teeth were in, that was it. That was it. Uh, no, this character, especially being one of the first of its kind in terms of gender representation. It's been it was I had to do my homework because it was the late 80s, early 90s. We didn't have a lot of language for a lot of these things yet, or at least it just wasn't widely known or just being written about. So um, I think there are things that are insinuated, things are implied, and I think specifically for queer individuals, they might be able to pick up on that and see that too, as well as like cis straight individuals who have friends and who've interacted with all kinds of people. They'll be like, that does feel a bit familiar. Yeah, yeah.
You know, if I may, I would like to give Ren some serious props because you look at their essence and loveliness that you're experiencing right now, right? And compare that to, as Ren said, when the gold teeth go in, there's a transformation.
Yeah.
So I tip my hat, truly. And as an actor, to have that back and forth, ooh, that, any scene takes two.
Yeah.
When you have a partner and it's a tennis match and all that richness is being brought to play, it's delicious as an experience. It's just that's the core of the craft. That right there, woo! It's electric. You can't. That's why I love this craft and love this work. To get in the ring with a fellow actor and to have those dynamics that are so meaningful and explosive and unpredictable. That's what it's about. So, yeah.
Christopher Wren, thank you so much for your time. Cannot wait for the world to check it out. It is explosive thus far.
Awesome. Thanks, Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Yes, I have this question for Ren. With Henry's introduction on this show, we see immediately she is someone not to be played with. What do you think about the writer's choice to introduce this character in such a vast way to show you like this is a serious threat to everyone involved?
Man, I mean, I can't even hold you. When I read the script the first time, I had to double take. I said, hold on. What? I had to double check to make sure I didn't miss a page. And I was like, oh, she did that. She did that. So I got to do it. Okay, cool. It really, I think that's exactly what she needed. She is in Henry. I think that's exactly the kind of introduction that Henry needs. Henry's big and bold. She's going to walk through that door, making all kinds. You're going to hear her before you see her. Okay. Or you're going to feel her presence before you see her. You will know, you'll be like, something's in the air. Why just get a little chillier in here? Yeah. It works and it reads, and she translates that in every relationship that she touches throughout the show.
Now, this is for Christopher. We get a little backstory of just how powerful Blaze is. We've not seen this type of character on BMF that is so well connected to both sides of the world here. What do you think this is going to lead for audiences to come to conclusion about just how big of a threat Blaze is to everyone, considering that from the police to the city council to the drug game, he's just fully connected into everything?
This is such a great dynamic that the writers have brought forth. The fact that Blaze is a former detective having worked in narcotics, and now I'm a kingpin in the drug game. So I know the ins and outs. I know the politics. I know the politicians. I know the pitfalls, the games. I know all the ways to just get around whatever I need to make sure that this world, this organization that I've created is always protected and always runs smoothly. And that's been the case consistently because of my previous experiences. So that makes Blaze an incredibly dangerous and formidable character to have all of that previous experience. And then to go from that world of being a detective in narcotics into being a drug kingpin. I mean, just think about that transition. That's dangerous to have all of that knowledge. That's someone who's close to untouchable.